Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I can't remember the name.
Honorable Posing.
Posing, yes.
I thought all members introduced themselves.
Kabogo, Mr. Speaker, Kabogo is very widely traveled in Kenya. I know every corner of Kenya. I remember holding a harambe in his constituency with one of the ex-former ministers. So I have traveled. At some point when I was younger, Mr. Speaker, I would fly all over the country, so I am conversant with Kenya. And be assured that if I'm confirmed, this digital divide will be a thing of the past. As you have said, USF funds are there available, probably to a tune of 115 million if my research, 115 billion if my research is correct. And we should be able, if you look at the master plan of the ICT department, is to connect Kenya. And I want to be the minister, Mr. Speaker, if confirmed, who connected Kenya 100%. Mr. Speaker, you realize that from TIMS, Kenya government owns 20% of the internet in that cable. And you will find only 2% of that is tapped and utilized by Kenyans and more so government departments. So I should be the one who will make sure that that 20% is spread in the whole republic. And for cases where security is a threat, we have satellite services like what Starlink is doing now. So government should be able to have a discussion with satellite internet providers so that the entire republic is connected. I'm cognizant of the fact that there's a plan to put 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable to connect the country, but also cognizant of the fact that most of those cables are not lit. So if I'm confirmed and going to the minister, I should be able to make sure that the cables that have been put so far are lit. And Kenyans can enjoy internet services in the entire republic. Cyberspace from Honorable Koech, and what we will do to make sure that we harness the energy of the young men. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that I want to be that minister that engaged the GenZs and made sure that their energy was converted, and they will be so engaged such that they will be able to make money, business in the digital platform. And Mr. Speaker, when I was in Kiambu, I did see the plight of the young and how poor the young men and women were. And they had gone to school, we had pushed them through school, and we told them, you study and you will get a job. But there were no jobs after university. And I really got surprised at some point where graduates and doctors were very happy about kazi mtaani. And that's a very sad story for a graduate to go to kazi mtaani. So I started a biashara fund where we set aside 300 million shillings for small loans to young boys and girls, and mostly women, disadvantaged communities in society. And we entered into a contract with the bank so that the bank will do the core business of lending, but use our money at an agreed interest rate. So I want to be the one that will persuade government that we can put resources aside and do these startup hubs where young men and women will be able to employ themselves. This is besides, Mr. Speaker, the 1,450 ward hubs that the president has initiated. I have a feeling that every one of those ward hubs would bring forth about 10, so that the young men and women can get access to affordable loans. You realize that today the non-collateralized loans in Kenya are charging interest of up to 20-25%. And really, there is no business a young man would do and be able to pay interest of 20%. So if we can get non-collateralized loans by government or a collaboration between government and, for example, KCB, loans will be given to these young men, and it's startup loans. And what we did in Cambo, we gave loans through LPO loaning so that you don't give them cash. So that if it's computers, they would get computers, and they would get routers and all these things that you need in a digital hub. And then they would use the digital hubs for a period of 2 years, for example, during which they should be able to get money and support themselves. So that's one of the things that we could initiate. Data protection, I think, from the Honorable Lesuda. I understand the concern of data being harvested. And if you listen on social media, you will see people attacking that Safaricom has released people's numbers and then they are being given to Kenya Revenue Authority. I say from the front that if that happens, it is illegal because we have laws that protect data. I am told, and I want to reliably believe, that only a security threat would cause sharing of data. But I would want to be the one that makes sure that private and personal data is protected by government if I were to be nominated. It is a serious threat to persons, it is a serious threat to families, and I would want to make sure that, again, dialogue between parties, discussions online and offline and in places like Parliament, opening public portals to discuss data security, data protection, etc., would help so that we create a modus operandi sort of on what we say and what we, because some of these things may just be not true. I do not want to say it's not true, but it may be so.
Honorable Kabogo, I think it's better to correct you on the issues like it's not really the phone companies that have, like Safaricom, that are guilty of giving